I grew up in Ukraine. In Kenya, a man can marry two wives or more.
And tomorrow I'm going to ask her to marry you on the first day. I'm her best bet.
Man doesn't go to the kitchen, he doesn't help with anything, just to sit and relax. I didn't agree with that.
Once you fall in love with the first, your culture becomes secondary, so you cannot impose what your culture dictates. I grew up in Mount Elgon. It's a place in Kenya.
I grew up in Ukraine, in a place called Poltava. Because my dad is a pastor, we moved a lot. For me, home is not a place, it's people. And now my husband in my home.
I had gone for studies in Finland. I have been attending the Seventh-day Adventist Church for all my life, and I've been a very active member of the church. So this one Saturday, we had like an annual general meeting of all church members in one city called Turku. And in the morning, I told God that, hey, in fact, that was the first time I was praying in the morning. And I told God, man, we've been working together with you for a very long time. Now I think I need another person to me as well. Called a friend of mine and told him, I think I need you to drop me to the bus pickup point. And as I was driving into the pickup spot, I saw her in a red dress, of course, not from in front. She was a cute girl, but she looked very young. So I thought, she's 16. So I ignored and forgot it. So
I will start with the time when I went to Finland because war started in my country, and my sister was she was already there with her family, and she told me like, come. First, I said, no, I don't want to go to Finland. But one day, I decided, let me just go to Finland because life is tough. It was hard. I didn't know anybody, and I felt very bad. So I called my parents and I told them, like, I don't want to stay here anymore. And my mom said, okay, but first, go to church. Saturday in the morning, we were going with some of my friends from the train to the bus, and I saw him with other men outside in the bus. He was only one in the suit. He looked at me in the eyes, and I was like, okay, she is cute. His eyes are very beautiful.
Later, I was just seeing she was with her friends, and I was observing her the whole day. My eyes were there were thousands of beautiful girls, but my eye was just fixated upon her. And later, I was just seeing her standing somewhere behind there. And I looked like, this girl is just going around too much. Hey, come and sit here. We never stopped going to church every Saturday together again. I was at the right age for seeking somebody to settle with. So when we talked and I saw like, there is a future in this, then that was the moment I said, I'm not letting her go. After our first conversation, and I realized, one, she is the daughter of pastors. She's very consistent with church and everything. Then I thought, this could be the right person.
I wanted to stabilize my life because I didn't know if I need to go back home or stay in Finland, and he just appeared. I looked at him and I was like, he's a very handsome man. When he called me like, come sit here, first scene I wanted to like, no, it's okay. But after this I was like, use an opportunity. Why not? Nobody tells you to marry him. We started talking, he asked questions, I asked some questions. He was very confident. I felt like he knew what he wants from his life, what he plans. He is a man, not by his words, but also by his actions. For me, it was very important to find somebody with whom I will have like very strong connection before going into a relationship. When I found this good connection and strong connection between us, it became a long-time relationship, a marriage, a family.
Sometimes even when we were just doing our things, and baby, I forgot your weight. For both of us, the race does not kick in. But of course, we come from different cultures, so I don't think the skin color for me has had anything to do. Though I would be guilty to say that a lighter skin has always been my favorite. So I went for the top of the top. The same day, like we finished having our conversation, we were on the bus or something. So we went sitting separately, but we came back sitting together. And I did my best and convince her that I am her best bet. I already told my mom, hey, mom, I have met this girl. He chat. No, I've met my wife. So, and tomorrow I'm going on a date with her. And I also called my dad. I'm just shameless. So, yeah, when I told him I'm planning to marry this girl, and said, yeah, that is very good. Now we will have the evidence to prove you went abroad.
Yeah, for me it took a little bit longer. I remember that I talked to my dad. Is he from our church? I said yes. He said okay. He didn't ask any question. But for my mom, it's very important for me that he would love you. Nothing more.
I would say Ukrainian people are very warm because from the moment I was announced as her boyfriend, everybody liked me from that side. I would say that is the most Ukrainian thing about her. She's warm.
When we only started dating, I wanted to impress him with food because in Ukraine we say that way to the man's heart goes through stomach. But later I learned that he eats ugali and rice only. I learned how to cook ugali, and now in our house we eat rice and ugali. I decided to cook mostly what he likes because I adapted to his food easily. Church music, he puts it every time. It's Kenyan Adventist music, and this dancing. This is very Kenyan, and this every day in our house. So I also used to it. Yes. Even our child is trying to dance now. Sometimes it's too loud for me.
Ukrainians have a reputation for other things, but I do not see it in her because it's pork and alcohol. Very famous with them. And well, even in her family, there is not much of that. She just cooks too much cake and bread because that is what Ukrainians do. So yes, if I would show you the size of my stomach before, potatoes. They are our Kikuyus, you know. Potatoes and chicken. That is very Ukrainian. If you're willing to live your culture, your daily life, so you should expect anything that comes your way. So I'm quite positive with meeting challenges, and I do not think I would say there was any much difficulty for us having met in a foreign country. When we were dating, a lot of confusion comes because you can imagine we are meeting in a foreign country, both of us, with language barrier. There is a lot of confusion because she could mean something else and say something different, something almost similar. So you would find that perhaps a few times we had conflicts. I tried to think a lot before making accusations and everything. A lot of things get lost in translation the first couple of days. So if you ask us how we mitigate it, myself, the first thing I do is just to forgive first, even before we have that discussion. Forgiving before and trying to understand, listening. They didn't mean to offend.
We needed to find that one language that we both understand and we both can communicate. Sometimes, as he said, we would miss meaning in words. In fact, it's only one when we were eating and he was like, give me. For me, so rude, like, am I your soldier? Am I your dog? And give me, like, oh, what's it? No, give me please, or pass, or could you give me? I was so offended, and I told him, we had a conflict, and after this, he said, no, just in my language, it just...
Lipeko, it's an informal Swahili. It's not even informal. It's just like broken Swahili. When you put the ko, it comes from the Bantu Luya people here.
We learned how to communicate, how to understand, and sometimes now, when we have this misunderstanding, we try to stop fast. What do you really mean? What do you want to tell me through these words? Because I feel like I don't understand you right.
And I think also one of the things that help in avoiding all sorts of misunderstanding and communication is for me first to think that she doesn't mean to offend anybody, She doesn't mean to offend me. It prepares me for any language misgivings.
I think I know more Swahili than her.
I think she knows more Swahili. At one point when we just started dating, I had started get reading, but Ukrainian has been a challenge. It can say perceive or perceive, beautiful for man, for woman, Cholovik for man, monodets, because she tells her son every time we did that something good.
I learned Swahili a little bit, but not a lot, just few words and phrases. I can introduce myself. I can say mimi ni Mariana, mimi ni Mukeva Brian. It means I am Mariana and I'm Brian's wife. That's first what he taught me.
Not the first, but the first that she can say in front of people. Some words have just become natural for her, like unga for flour, whether it's for chapati or for ugali. So she does like choo-choo for the baby.
Sometimes some words we don't use it in English. We use it in only in other languages. Something like shafshara. Kasha is porridge. It's from Ukrainian. We hope he will speak all three or even more. For now, he only says mama, baba, dada, nene. Nene. Yes, he's 11 months old.
Now that she's looking at me, I'll be very careful with my answer. As you may understand from now, I'll call this African culture, yeah? They recognize the child is the father's. We live in Kenya, so he will, or we currently live in Kenya, he will most likely have to adopt much of the Kenyan language, culture, food, and everything, because she makes the same food for myself, and he likes ugali like myself. Even as we were naming the boy, I really wanted him to have Ukrainian name, you know? I want him to learn Ukrainian and all other languages he can learn, because it's quite just to find a mixed or a white boy, let me just say that, and he doesn't have anything from his other culture, from his mama's side. I would say myself, I'm very open to him learning anything he likes. He's an international guy, so yeah, but mostly Kenyan.
Me as a wife, as a woman, I also integrate more in my husband's culture. I really wish for my son to know his mother's side, because I think that Ukrainian culture is very strong. Ukrainians are strong, and I am really proud of my nationality, of who I am. And I want my children to know who they are, also half of them, even when you are from one culture, one country, but you are from two different families. One family has its own rules, another family has its own rules. And when you marry each other, you may have some problems. After a few months we started dating, I learned that in Kenya, you can, a man can marry two wives or more. I had very big problem with it. Only one wife, or we don't have a future. Some things I can accept easily. Some things it takes time to accept for me. I think what really helps us is religion. We have same vision about life through religion, how we were taught from our childhood, and it helps a lot.
That is what made me trust her a lot, to ask her to marry me on the first day. In fact, she kept asking me, like, young man, do you really know what you're signing up for? But you don't know me. And I told her, I don't care, God knows you.
First, my thought was like, where should I run away? Women would say that it's a red flag. When man starts pushing you and make quick decisions, like, it's not very good. I don't know why I really trusted him. Marriage is very serious for me, because what I was taught in church from my parents, marriage is you getting married until death. So you cannot marry any person. But he was very confident. I decided just to stay and see what will happen. More and more I learned about him. I liked it. The one day I loved it very much.
Enough to get the government involved. I had like 3 grounds. One, I have studied there, so there should be some period for renewal. Number 2, when I first applied, I had a job with some other companies, so I just felt like they will not be very supportive of me. There was in the process, we had our son, and I thought, like, I'd like to spend more time with my family, and working formally for somebody else wouldn't really help me to manage my time more appropriately for them. I had the grounds of, first, the work. Number 2, we had a business. We were running a logistics business. That was the main grounds on which I'd applied for the permits. They denied me on. They just said that my company wasn't making enough, but it was finally doing very good, I would say. I think it's also because the financial reports, or when I made the application, it was in April, which is barely a quarter of the year. So having used those grounds to assess the company's ability, and it was business name, not a limited company. So all the liability lies on me. Before that, they asked her what would she feel about me being denied and perhaps getting a deportation. That as long as you are having a family, husband or wife in any country, mostly you're entitled to stay with them in the same country. They still didn't consider that, given that I also had, my son was barely 6 months old, having a wife and a child who are not, of course, they are not working at that time. She should be on her maternity leave. I decided to go for an appeal for the case, but eventually we saw we were not fighting a winning fight. We thought it was nice for us just to avoid all that pressure.
When decision came, I didn't feel emotional stability, and that's why I couldn't manage some things, and it was not easy for me. And I know that it was very hard for him because he needed to decide not only for himself but for his family. At some point, I felt like he's doing nothing because even for men, they need time, really time, especially if it's something serious. Me, I wanted to know.
Right now, right?
Yes. What will we do? What are we going to do? What is your plan? Because if I would not plan, it would be easier for me to continue life, to plan something. He didn't have an answer for me. One day I came to him and I told him, let's buy tickets for Kentucky. It doesn't matter for me where I should live in if it's not my home country. I don't know why I had confidence that everything will be all right in Kenya. I think it's because I have confidence in him, and he showed me before that he knows how to take responsibility. He takes responsibility. He takes care of his family. I trusted him, and I trust him now.
Well, I think it has just revealed what kind of a relationship we have, and it has revealed to me what kind of a wife I have. Because having left the pleasures with Finland, should there have been any, but maybe an easy life where electricity does not run out, given that Finland is way closer to Ukraine. So anytime she would need to visit her parents, and I told her thank you for accepting to come with me to Kenya. But also I told her, well, it was for better for worse. So now let's go for better because we tried for worse.
If you ask me, I feel like our relationship became stronger. Sometimes when he would tell me about his culture, how men and women live together, that a man is a king. One day I asked him, who am I then? It means I'm a queen. If I'm your wife, then who should clean and cook? But he would tell me that man doesn't go to the kitchen, he doesn't help with anything. What I heard that his job is just to sit and relax. I didn't agree with that. But what is shocking means that it doesn't matter what he tells me, he always helps me. If I need help even in the kitchen, he comes and does it. When our son was so smaller and sometimes I couldn't cook, he would help me with some things. He is a full parent for our child. He's always with him, they play, they're even best friends. I feel like my husband is more European than African.
If you ask me in public, I have never cooked, I have never cleaned. My wife does everything.
He understood that we have a small boy. Sometimes I'm just physically tired and emotionally tired. I am also a human being, so I need help. African style and even African women, I like it. I like this vibe, I like atmosphere, like how African women, they deal with everything.
If she was a man, she would make the same decision. It's beautiful person. Has a very beautiful TikTok and social media life, protects me that she doesn't let me read those comments in Ukrainian. I'm quite public here at home. Of course, not very much on social media.
But he has 5,000 followers in TikTok. We had a business. I also did social media for this business. One person texted something not very good about our business, and especially because black person runs this business.
He finally learned how to drive.
and I felt very bad. I was so angry. When I told him about it, about my feelings, he was like, why I was thinking about these people, just let it go. I started my TikTok for Ukrainians, because before it was like English TikTok, and mostly there was Kenyans, and they were very okay with our couple. They wrote good comments. But one of our videos became viral in Ukrainian TikTok. I really felt that people are racist.
I was telling her a few days ago just about the same things about racism. Our son is mixed. We have been taking him for immunization at the hospital. And I told her, now I'll just be vaccinating my child. So anyway, if you get ujapa, like, a little monkey. Okay, for us, it's, calling it amongst black people, yes, it's not really an attack. If somebody calls him anything, he'll just be fine with whatever culture he learns.
Ukrainians would text, why would you choose somebody like him?
I said, okay, that he looks like that.
It's ridiculous, he looks like that. Don't you have self-love and self-confidence that you would choose a monkey or something like that? Somebody texted me almost every my video, somebody texted a very bad comments. Things like, I will kill you, and that black and bad words that I don't not translate. I will find you, and I will get rid of you, and something like that. In my brain, I understand that he cannot find me, but in my heart, I got scared. One of my mother's friend, she saw a photo in Facebook, and she called her and said, "Oh, I saw Mariana got married. Congratulations! It's so nice she found her person. It's okay that he looks like that." And you don't know, is it a compliment? Or is it that he looks like that, or it's not a very like it's not a compliment?
Being accepting of other people has made it easy for me to maybe cross borders freely and having respect for whatever could be different between us and them. I just do not like that. I want to express their culture as much. Even on our wedding, she planned very little. We experienced that part of their culture as I really hoped to. But she had only one dance. It was so beautiful, but she was shy about it. She doesn't express enough of her culture, whether it's food, music. 3 days ago, she made really beautiful borscht. It's one of the Ukrainian national dishes. It was really beautiful, and my family enjoyed it. Just they do not express their culture enough.
On our wedding, we didn't have a lot of Ukrainian things, because first, you told me that it's your people's work to organize their wedding. I even thought to have a program in church first. And second, I sent you like 20 songs. The DJ didn't put my Ukrainian music. What I love about my culture, having a big family, big community, and support during our wedding. When I was pregnant, baby shower was very beautiful. And when a baby was born, and even now that we came to Kenya, they organized very big party for us to welcome us and family members from both sides. I know that even when somebody dies, we also support each other, and we also went when our friends, family members. It's really nice that you are never alone. My biggest compromise was we didn't have a lot of Ukrainian tradition, but honestly, it was like it's a little bit not my wedding. We had chairman and all those people who helped us during wedding committee. I was really annoyed because they would come in the house and they would talk about my wedding in a different language that I don't understand, and nobody my opinion.
Sometimes I would get mad a little bit, and after that, we would talk in everything what I see. So he suffered.
Hard to accept that it will be like that some people may decide for you and they really didn't like it. So, but good thing is that we found compromise, because I planned everything in church. Decoration, like color and all those that was me who planned. I liked it. I enjoyed. Of course, I had threats. My parents, they don't English, and of course, they don't know Swahili, and I couldn't find translator. But God helped was there because I invited my pastor. She's the pastor in Finland, and she's Ukrainian, and she knows English and Finnish and everything. So she helped with translation in church. And in venue, there was my sister who also knows English. But yes, I am a little bit sad because they were not involved for 100% in all celebration, just because we couldn't understand on those things.
Compromises that we had to make, I would just say I was on her side. So I understand that, in mostly in African culture, you can just even get married in your absentia because it's a parent's affair. So, but I had a very beautiful community from the church, our pastor Karina, our, like she said, very notable chairperson, and other people, our driver who was very prompt and harassed her a lot. We had like 300 people. For her, she would have wanted a wedding with 30 people total. For us Africans, the whole village must be happy. We call it like a Kalenjin wedding because I'm a Kalenjin. So we had a lot of our music. We had a traditional sour milk. It's called musik. We had very beautiful dance all through. We had chapati. Like all the food was
African. So
flour, chapati, and all other food.
I always was my father's difficult, but when I got married, that's when I felt like I grew up. We got married. Our son was born very quickly. I took a lot of responsibility in one moment for my family, for my husband, and for my child. At some point, I opened new parts of my personality, of my character. I'm an emotional person. I can easily become mad, and then now I learned patience because that's what can keep our relationship. I try to understand him first, then get into my emotions and accuse him for anything. What he also taught me is being positive, because every time something would happen, and it's so bad. What can we do? It's all. Life is finished. Everything is okay, even if all world is burning. We are okay.
The revelations for me about myself and character. I think I was into marriage with my eyes open. So I had told her before that it's very important first to learn to be okay with yourself. Getting married and maybe having some experiences with her. I think I've learned how to be more loving and understanding. He's always cool, man. Very observant, and he gives very good advice. So about things of life, and I've learned to listen.
I think that key for every relationship is conversation, because if you don't talk to each other, you don't know each other. If it's a cultural problem, you need to learn culture of your partner. If there is really problems, you can even write a list of what is important in your culture, what is important to you. And since it is not related to your culture and you don't understand it, or since from your partner's culture you don't understand and you don't think it's important, and you can even read to each other and talk with each other that this is very important to me, and that I would appreciate if you would understand it and accept it. And this is from your culture. I don't understand it completely, and it would be nice for you to explain to me why it is so important to you. And if you will learn your husband's or wife's, your spouse's culture, you will learn your spouse.
You get to relate with the person regardless of their cultures. So whether you marry from people, women are just women, men are just men, and treat them with the respect that everybody deserves. That is what. Once you fall in love with the person, all the other things, your culture becomes secondary. So you cannot really just impose impose upon every person what your culture dictates. No, it doesn't work that way. Respect their culture and marry the person.